Hello, everybody. Welcome to our weekly family Bible lesson. And I'm really happy you're here today. I miss you all, and I'm just glad you're checking in online and keeping up with your faith building. So I like to start out our lesson with a little time for you and your family to talk about a question and just find out how each other thinks. So today our question is this. We live in the United States of America. That's our country. If you moved to a different country, not just a different city or state, but a whole different country, which country would you choose to live in? And why would you choose that country? Okay, there's like 200 countries in the world to choose from. So I'm sure you can think of one and give a reason why. Right? Enjoy your talking time together and finding out what everybody thinks. And when you're finished, come on back and we will dig into our Bible lesson again this week. Welcome back, you guys. I hope you had a nice talk about what country you would like to live in if you moved to a different one. Now we're going to dig into our Bible story. And I want to review it really quickly because this is our third week on this Bible story. And I just want you to remember the story a little bit. And then we'll talk about what does this story have to do with you and your relationship with God and Jesus and people in the world. All right, so I'm going to use some animals today to represent our characters. So I'm going to start with a lion because the Centurion was a powerful soldier. He was in charge of 100 other soldiers. So a lion's pretty powerful. So this is our Centurion, and he has a servant who is sick. So we're going to lay that alligator upside down because he's not feeling well. He's about to die. Now, you'll notice I did not use another Roman to be the servant because most of the Romans' servants were not Romans themselves. They came from another country, kind of like what we talked about, or another culture. There were servants that were Roman, but I'm going to guess it probably wasn't. So that's why I grabbed an alligator, a different type of animal than the Centurion as a lion. Okay? Now, the Centurion wanted Jesus to come and heal his servant because he cared about this little alligator. He didn't want him to die. He was a good servant. The problem is Jesus is Jewish. And we've talked last week, the Romans ruled over the Jewish. They were powerful. They kind of controlled them. They didn't let them do whatever they wanted. They didn't have freedom because the Romans controlled them. So the problem with the Centurion and Jesus is that Jesus is Jewish. We'll use an elephant. This will be Jesus. So here's Jesus. He's Jewish. And here's the Centurion who's Roman. And we don't know what the servant is. But these two don't get along. They don't get along. So the Centurion finds some more Jewish people, older Jewish people, and he goes to them and says, can you go get your Jesus to come heal my servant? Because he probably thinks that Jesus might listen to these guys because they're Jewish like him. So they go to him, as you remember, and he says, sure, I'll come. So they're heading back, and then the Centurion sends some friends, other Romans, and they meet on the path, and that's where the healing takes place because his friends tell Jesus what he said about, you don't have to come to my house. I'm not worthy for you to come to my house. You just say the word, and my servant will be healed. Bing! He's healed. Because the Centurion knew that he had soldiers who did what he said, and he believed that because of Jesus and his power, he could heal the servant just by saying it. He didn't actually have to come here and do it. Okay? So that's our story. All right? So my first question for you guys to talk about is the Romans and the Jews did not get along. And what I would like for you to talk about now is maybe some people that you don't get along with, or in the world, maybe you've heard on the news, there's some people that don't get along. I want you to just kind of name people that don't get along that you know of in your family. Okay, just people that don't get along. See you in a minute. Okay, you guys, so in our story, I used animals to represent different groups that might not get along. And you guys talked about some things that some people that still today don't get along. But I have another question for you too before we go on. And that is, I want you guys to tell something to your family that belongs to you, that's important to you, that you treasure. What is something that belongs to you that you treasure? Okay? Tell each other what it is and then come back. We'll connect those dots. Welcome back, families. So this is kind of a hard lesson to teach. And I feel like I'm struggling a little bit. I hope you're following along with me. But another point in this story, other than just having strong faith and asking others to help you get to Jesus, is Jesus' point of view. We've kind of talked about how the Jewish people and the Roman people didn't get along, and how the Romans controlled them and all that. But what is Jesus' point of view in this story? Because if Jesus wasn't Jesus, if he was just a Jewish person and a Roman asked him for help, he probably would say no, right? Yes. But Jesus' point of view in this story is he's not looking just to teach the centurion and the people watching. He's really looking to teach the Jewish people something. And what he's trying to teach them is that, yes, he loves them, but he also loves them and everyone else on the planet. In every corner of the earth. Doesn't really have corners, but you know what I mean. And Jesus was trying to teach the Jewish people that he didn't just belong to them. He wasn't just their God. He was the God for everyone. Now, you've probably learned some in school, maybe, depends on how old you are, that the Romans had their own gods that they made up and that they worshipped. You've probably heard of Greek gods and goddesses and how they controlled the water and the skies and the thunder and stuff like that. So these other countries, cultures, they had their own gods. The Jewish faith believed in the one true God. And Jesus came down to teach them even more about that one true God. But in this story, he teaches them that one true God is not just their God. It's the one true God for everyone. And even if the Jewish people thought, those Romans, they're terrible. They're mean to us. They control us. They use their power. They make us pay them taxes. They don't deserve Jesus to heal or to help them. Jesus showed them, yeah, I am here to heal and help them just as much as I'm here to heal and help you. That was a big lesson for the Jewish people because they took God and God was theirs. I just had you name something that belonged to you that was important, that you treasured. So they treasured God, and they felt he belonged to them almost. They weren't willing to share him with the world. They were like, no, he's our God. He's ours. He protects us. He helps us. He saves us. You can't have him. Do you ever feel that way with your important things that you treasure? These are mine and you can't have them. Sometimes, right? Well, Jesus in this story is showing the Jewish people that, yeah, he's theirs, but he's also the Romans and any other person on the planet. So today I have another pause for you, and that is we don't have like Jewish and Romans in the United States of America where we're walking down the street and we have to go another way because we see one. But I think that as Christians who claim Jesus, who claim God as ours, sometimes we get a little selfish with him too. And now I want you to think of some people that maybe you think don't deserve Jesus or God. That if Jesus came to St. Augustine or whatever town you live in, and he went to their house to have breakfast or play games with them, instead of coming to your house and with your family and having breakfast or playing games with you, you'd be like, he's ours. I talk to him every day. Why is he going there? Do you have somebody in your world that you can think of like that? I want you to pause and talk to your family about that. Okay? And then I'll see you back in a minute. Okay, I hope you thought of some people that maybe you feel that you don't want to share Jesus with, that they don't deserve Jesus because they're so sneaky or they're so bad or mean or terrible, horrible people that have done horrible, terrible things. And we do good things and kind things. But Jesus tells us in this story, it doesn't matter if you do good and kind things or if you do horrible, mean, terrible things. He loves you. He loves all of us, every person. And he doesn't want mean, terrible, horrible people to keep doing mean, terrible, horrible things. But until they feel his love, they might not change. Yeah. So I forgot what I was going to say. What was I going to say? Oh, I remember what I was going to say. And when I was thinking about this during your pause while you were thinking of like sneaky bad people maybe that you think don't deserve Jesus right now, I was thinking about when God made the world. And when he made trees, did he make a tree so only nice Christian people who believe in Jesus could climb them or sit in the shade or get fruit from it or flowers from that tree? Or did he make that tree for absolutely anybody on the planet to climb and have fun on, to sit in the shade, or to eat the fruit or see the flowers off of that tree? What do you think? Did he make it just for good people? Or did he make it for everyone? Yeah, he made trees for everyone. He made water for everyone. He made the beautiful sky for everyone. He made the sun to warm everyone. And he sent Jesus the same way for everyone. Not just for some who talk to him. Just because I talk to him, just because I read his Bible, doesn't make him love me any more than he loves every single person on the planet that has lived a long time ago and that will still be born. Because he has that much love. Isn't that exciting? Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to take a pause, and this is what I want you to talk about. This is our last pause. Then we'll come back for a prayer. But I want you to talk about those people that you named that maybe you think they don't deserve Jesus like I do. They're bad. They've done horrible things, or they're sneaky or mean or rude. I want you to think about those people, and I want you to think about if you have people like that are in your class or at work, what is a little tiny simple thing that you could do to kind of share your Jesus with them? It can be as simple as a smile, or it could be something more, like making them something to give them, or inviting them to do something. All right, you talk to your family about that, and maybe make a plan for this week for each of you to do some act of kindness to someone who maybe you feel doesn't deserve it. Kind of like Jesus did this kindness, even though maybe the Jewish people felt that the Roman didn't deserve it. And then we'll come back and we'll have a prayer. See you in a few minutes. So that's our lesson for today. It was a little bit hard to describe. I hope you got it. The point that Jesus is making in this story. That he didn't just come for some people. He came for all people, no matter what they were like, or where they lived, or what clothes they wore, or any of that. All right? So let's have a prayer of thanks for that. All right? Let's bow our heads, fold our hands. Dear God, thank you so much for sending your son Jesus to earth, and for this lesson where he taught the Jewish people that he did not just belong to them, that he was here for everyone. And help us as we go through our day this week, every day, that when we see people that are being mean or nasty or rude, that we remember that you love them just as much as you love us. And maybe we can share some of your love with them through a simple smile or kindness in some way. And share your love with them so that they might start to feel it and they might change within their hearts. All right. We love you, Lord, and we thank you for your son, Jesus. It's in his name that we pray. Amen. All right, you guys. I will see you next week. Have a good week. Spread some love. Bye-bye.